And that's the bottom line, because as a Sakor said so.
Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Midweek Banter. I am Sam.
And I am Azza.
And welcome to episode 5. That's right, 5 episodes in. And have we got a banger for you today? It's going to be probably one of the spiciest episodes yet, I'm sure. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, how you been, Sam?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. It's again being a bit annoying being stuck inside with all the sun shining and that, but not too bad. What about yourself, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right actually. I got out the last couple of days, tried to make some use of the sun. I've just been tennis this morning, to be fair, which was a good crack with some of the lads from the group. Funny enough, as well.
Okay.
I weren't going to talk loads about it, but I'm not going to miss the opportunity to say that Ryan and Andy were 5-1 up against me and Rishi, and then we won that set 7-5. And then the second set, they were 4-1 up, and we dispatched them 6-4. So just for everybody out there, them two got dealt with.
And just like that, within the first 5 minutes, you've already exploded the group for Andy. You just got Andy and Ryan is going to be on it.
I've been rubbed up the wrong way this weekend, Sam, so I'm firing shots all over the gap.
Tell us more. What's happened? What's rumbled you?
Now, Will, have you seen the live this weekend we had yesterday?
I saw the Instagram live.
What did you make of that?
It was going so smoothly. It was going so normally, and then out of nowhere, Abs is coming for your crown, man. That notorious crown, he's coming for it.
I thought I was doing such a beautiful job, and then some absolute clown come and try to ruin my flow. Listen, all I'm going to say about Abs, the Turkish chicken, is the only thing he's notorious for is being notoriously shit. Yeah? Notoriously shit. And those 2 paper belts he's made up, they're going to belong to me.
Okay, so they're put down, are they?
Yeah. Listen, I told him, I'm not interested if it's his kids' belts. He's made them now. He's made them. It's too late. He'll have to go and get his kids some little paper belts, because he seems to be good at making things up anyway. Those 2 belts he's made, and I'm going to have the pair of them within the first 2 weeks of playing. So that's what's going to happen. And then he will remain the chump, and I will be the champ.
This is incredible. This is probably our first, but I can't really see a midweek rivalry topping this, because we've never had really a midweek rivalry before. Even from the days of Sunday, there was never really 2 guys who are going at it in a kind of serious yet not serious yet actually I do really mean what I'm saying kind of way. Like, you guys are proper going at it, and there's rivalry and there's videos and pictures and belts being made and all sorts. It's incredible. It's like an actual storyline. It's beautiful to be a part of, to witness it.
Obviously, me and Shafi have had our things before, and we've had a few games where we kind of gone up each other. But I mean, Shafi's obviously, he rocked up at Abs' house yesterday, because Shafi knows he got dealt with, but the guy he's picked to have his back, he's going to get dealt with as well. So,
well, maybe if we're able to put kind of a clip of that surprise introduction from yesterday's Instagram live, we'll put it here. But yeah, so you had your session with Shafi, and then it went into Rossi, and it went on to everyone else. And again, thanks to everyone who joined in with the Instagram live and came on and had your say. And then you thought you'd end it with a bang with Abs. And so Abs, first of all, rocks the boat a little bit by playing the Notorious in the background. He lit a cigar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a bossy move. He lit a cigar, he had his 2 belts and all that, and all of a sudden we hear some background noise, we see his head turn to the side, and Shafi pops his head in.
Yeah, Shafi come in. Shafi come in to double team with his pal. All I could see was the Chuckle Brothers on my screen, to be honest. and I think, although the cigar looks all great, mate, what I've taken from that is he's cracking under the pressure, mate. He's turned to smoking already, and we're not even picking up buds yet.
So you feel it wasn't a celebratory cigar, it was more of a stress-induced cigar.
Yeah, he's cracking already. He's cracking already. He's never had the spotlight on him. I told him that as well yesterday. Before I labelled him Turkish, he was a nobody, mate. He could have just been another blue bloke cutting kebab meat. You know what I mean? But now, look at him. Now look at him. One mention, mate. He's sweating and smoking. So
in other words, you're saying you made him. You made him what he is.
Nobody. He was a nobody, mate. There's levels to this game, and he's not on mine.
Outstanding. I think more so than anyone, I think everyone wants now Abs as to be the next person, and of course we've got. I mean, is there any really point us doing the new? We'll talk about it at the end of the show, but we've got the new voting system. Is there any point? We all know who everyone wants to be coming on the show next.
More likely he will get voted in. The other way around it is don't even put his name up. But we're not here. We're not here to. We started to please the people, and the people want him on. So
I know that's a problem. When you pander to your fans, unfortunately, you got no choice but to give them what they want. But
looking forward to it, mate. Let's have him on. I don't mind. I mean, we'll still do the vote thing, but like I said, me and you both are expecting him to be voted in, so we'll see him next week, no problem.
Probably, yeah, exactly. But Abs is not on the show today. Who is on the show today?
We have Ali Shafi with us today, which I would say, before the recent events, was definitely the biggest villain, probably the most hated, the biggest clown, probably the biggest idiot. By far talks the most shit. But nah, in all fairness, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the madness, Sam. But we'll talk about all these group antics. We'll get his best sevens thing. We'll talk about his memories as well. And obviously he'll be competing in this week's midweek banter league. So yeah. Obviously, you've known him longer than me, Sam. How do you know him? Where do you know him from? Was it from here or elsewhere before?
Well, no, this is because I think Walji brought him along. Walji was the person who introduced him, and he brought him along and started playing. And then but to be honest, I don't think it was. I mean, again, my memory is horrible, but I don't think I've known him significantly longer than you have. I think you guys joined, it feels like maybe at similar times, but just through different avenues. Like you joined through Ish and Shafi joined through Walji. So it was a tricky one. But no, to be fair, Shafi was playing Sundays, I think, for a little while with us. But we've been through a lot. I was lucky enough to buy my BM off of him. He had to say goodbye to it when he wanted a different car, when he wanted a bit more of a family-oriented car. So I was lucky enough to buy that off him. So I'm grateful for him to that. And and we've had experiences together and some laughs and jokes. But overall, no matter what you may feel or say about him, my experience of him, warm guy, lovely guy, genuine guy, complete and utter joker. But when it comes down to it, would do anything for anyone as long as that person's a good person in his book. So
he is a funny character. He does mean well. And to be fair, I don't always get what his points of views are from in sense of the football sense or any sense, to be fair. But I won't lie, I used to love giving him shit and banter him up in the group. But to be fair, it's changed now. I do like bantering with him and dishing it out elsewhere, to be fair. So things change on that front. But he always means well. He's definitely a good guy. So But no, I'm looking forward to talking to him today. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say.
Yeah, most definitely. I've got a feeling like we knew Jake's episode was going to be a long episode, and obviously parts of those are still being leaked out to the public. But
Yeah.
I have a feeling this one might not be too far off. I think it's going to be going quite a long time. But yeah, before we bring him on, anything else you wanna get to?
No, I think I'm good, Sam. I'm just looking forward to having a chat with Shafi today, to be fair. So let's get him on.
Fantastic. So we will be bringing the man himself, Ali Shafi, on to this show right after this.
I want to ask Azza how he feels.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here on Midweek Banter, episode 5. I am Sam, that's Azza, and here in front of us, our guest, our man of the hour, it's Ali Shafi. Welcome.
Shafi is the best.
Shafi! Hey, Shafi, before we
Yeah.
start, I just want to check, are you by yourself today, mate? Or you got your little tag team partner with you?
No, 100% by myself. The flat's in a bit of a mess. Actually, Azza, look, I still got I haven't finished the painting yet.
Fuck me, mate.
No, I finished the hallway, but this is the longest project that's ever taken, man. It's just...
It will be, mate. If you don't pick up the paintbrush, you ain't going to do it yourself.
Yeah. But I've done the hallway quite sick, you know. I'm finishing the varnish and this and this. But anyway, enough about decorating. Tell me how the decorative, podcast, the Insta Live was, man.
Listen, mate. The Insta was fantastic. But look, I was saying before we start recording, I'll repeat myself, the worst thing's just happened for you, mate, because Sam's just reminded me and made me talk through what happened yesterday, so now you're going to get double barrel, son.
Nah, Sam's deep, man. I'm ready to answer all these war questions.
But now we know you're alone, that's a good thing, mate. So we will ask how you are first, anyway.
Well, you never know, man. The doorbell might ring, abs might come in. No. I want to do that to you lot. The Azza sweating. See the shine, mate.
What's going on?
No, I'm good, man. Good. Like getting used to fatherhood, this and this. Bit of a change of like times, how you're tired, how you need to be active. You suddenly got the sixth sense. I think one of the most paranoid things about being a father is like when you put your kid to sleep, is he breathing? So yeah, like sixth sense just kicks in, which my wife told me, can you empty the dishwasher or something, just help me out. I'll say, yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes will turn into like an hour, blah, blah, blah. With a kid, you just have, like, for some reason, I've clicked in, like, I just jump off my bed. As soon as I hear, like, even the off breathing or something like that. So, no, fatherhood's cool. Quarantine's a bit difficult. A lot of, like, I think now we're trying to get a bit more freedom anyway. I think everyone is out now, isn't it? Here and there. So, yeah, generally, all good. What about you two?
Yeah, all right, mate. Actually, just on your point there, honestly, I was so bad, mate. Do you know how many times I used to jump up to the cot and like constantly check still breathing and that? I was so paranoid by that sort of stuff, mate. What's wrong with me, man? And I even had like, without going too far off track, I used to have worst dreams, mate, about going on holiday with the kid and someone nicking the kid and all this sort of stuff, mate. I was so fucking weird. That settled down quite quickly, and then once you have enough, you've got time to be paranoid about more kids than one kid. So I don't know. It was just a weird thing.
Was that with your firstborn that you were that paranoid, or what about the second one?
Yeah, still the breathing thing, but not so much. By that point, we've been on holiday with the kids and all that anyway, and then, but weird stuff, mate. But I don't know. I suppose it's a new thing. You're not used to it, and you just get overly protective, I guess. But until you've been in that situation, you don't know. But it's
100%.
No, exactly. 100%. It's not like Shafi was comparing it to like maybe being asked to do certain things. I'm not a father, so I can't really talk. I can only talk from what I observe and from what you two are saying. But I'm guessing when that is something you've created. That is your flesh and blood. That's your DNA. That's part of you. That's a mini you there, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
But obviously, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure. And even if it means like kind of jumping up at every 2 seconds, you're going to do everything to ensure that kid has the best life possible. And fair play to both of you. I'm guessing it must be a bit trickier. I don't know. Again, you have nothing to compare it to, but how being a father of a very, very newborn child is in kind of lockdown, quarantine kind of circumstances in comparison that maybe when Azza had his ones, then that was, again, you've got the openness of world. The world is just running as normal. But for you, it's been a bit weird.
It's been a bit weird.
Yeah, cool.
Like, you can't take your kid for a stroll because you think twice. I think Azza, you know what one of the biggest things was? I think on week 8 or week 6, week 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16, you have injections or something like that. So basically, Sam, like when a kid's born, you get midwives coming out for the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
They cancelled all the appointments. So we couldn't really ask like general questions about, that would be like, oh, when does the umbilical cord drop off or blah, 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 this and that. Obviously I got in Islam, like you get your kid circumcised anyway. That was another thing that was a bit difficult because a lot of the clinics closed.
Yeah.
Wherever I found, I got recommended this Jewish rabbi, and he was like supposed to be one of the top doctors from Great Ormond Street, and he was like, I would never take your kid to a hospital during this time. And we ended up finding someone in where's it, Whitechapel, I think, where we got it done, and we rushed it all, which was a big panic. But I think as for you, it's probably a bit different because your kid's a bit older, both of them. But some of them, like kids need to be running outside and blah, blah, blah. My kid's obviously a newborn, stays in one place. I think it's more difficult for you as a dad, isn't it, to entertain kids that are quite active? Because I don't know, do they understand what's going on?
I think for this age, like my two, 10 and 4, obviously they'll be out and about and they both enjoy being out and about. But I think probably for you, the biggest thing what we might have had when they were babies was probably just that family support, if and when needed. Because you ain't going to be able to have that fallback at the moment. I'm assuming you've not done because of the general guidelines and that, and probably don't want to anyway. So yeah, that'll probably be the biggest thing for you at the moment. But hopefully it won't be too far down the road when that can happen again anyway. So
yeah. So I mean, like I've been staying at my in-laws, so it's kind of been a helpful situation because we had like quite a bad labor experience and just general, like it was, you know what, I don't know if like we've got women viewers, but a hospital is very like anti-man, like it's very feminine. They don't even see the partner. Azza, did you get fed 10 years ago when your kid was born? Yeah, like in the hospital was a menu just for the wife.
Listen, if anybody knows me and knows me well, knows, Shafi, I would not be in that hospital, even if she was in that state, I would not be in that hospital long enough for them to have to need to feed me anyways, because I fucking hate them, mate. You would not see me fucking there longer than what I was. The first one I was lucky, I think was like, I don't know, the labour was like hour and 20, I think it was. So I don't think we was in there longer than 2 hours anyway. We got lucky there.
Man.
The second one was a bit more problematic, but I lasted. But I was at my point, mate. If she didn't give birth when she did, I would have walked out.
Yeah.
And then heard about it from everyone else the next day.
A quick one. Was it? I think it was when my daughter got born, wasn't it, boys? And I played the same day.
Oh my gosh. That was mad.
You lads were like, what are you doing here, mate? That was the best. That was the best. I'd done my business in the hospital and I come out and play with you lads.
It was so weird. It was a really surreal experience because I'm pretty sure I was thinking about the safety of your daughter during the game more than you were.
Yeah.
You were there. I'm like, she's gotta be at home. He's got a newborn daughter. His first daughter.
I had a good game, mate. I was celebrating.
Man, you know, Sam, you know how many times I use an excuse like my wife Cad, like she was saying, listen, the kid's due in 6 weeks, I can pop anytime. I'm like, like his wife gave birth, he came football on the same night. I said that that's a real man. I played football right till the end. But yeah, as I kept using your excuse, I was like, you're like a legend in my in-laws, like in the household. They all know, like, as the guy that delivered a baby and came football on the same day.
Hello, man.
Yeah, good day that was, to be fair.
Yeah, that was crazy. I just couldn't, you know what? I couldn't comprehend. Like, Sam and me were like shocked. We were like,
I got it from everybody.
I'm pretty sure that I was ringing around for a standby.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that I was ringing
Message
around
me.
for a standby. I was like, nah, like he's saying, but he won't be there. And it came to 9:29, and there he is standing there, like as if nothing had happened. You all right, lads? How we doing? I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then I was asking, I was like, what did you have? How did baby go? I was like, what? In your hair.
Lucky I didn't overdo it on the gas.
Oh yeah, how's the gas? Are we going to talk about this segment later? I don't know if you lot got that kind of thing planned. But
yeah, let's leave the baby talk for later. Right. The plan was, let's get straight into it with you this week. We've changed a few things about Shaf. So this week we're going to go straight into the teammates questions, which Sam's going to deliver for you in a sec, and then we'll get your best seven straight off the bat. So right, Sam.
But really quickly before we do the teammates, as it was asking me about like having quite the fact that I've known you longer than I've known him, and like our early days and what I remember of you. But my memory is awful, and you always tend to kind of recap my memory. So like, can you, like, briefly nutshell like your first kind of time with midweek? Did you start these? What was that?
So basically with midweek, before it started, I met you on a Sunday football, and we had that little kid, Drew. 12-year-old. I used to nutmeg him for joke. Chip the ball over him. But yeah, so we were. So I remember Walji brought me to the game. Him and my missus have been friends for a long while. Some family and cousins and everything. He brought me along. He said that there's a Sunday football with a guy named Nikesh, and he runs a couple of games and blah blah blah. If I can get you in, I'll get you in. I remember that we used to start at 10 a.m. actually. It was 10 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it was all okay, people turning up and everything. I remember what you said, what you lot recapped on. Ade came in. Rish, I remember played 2 games with him, and I really enjoyed playing with Rish at that time. Who else did there? Imran M was there, Moladina. MZ was there. Pepe. I remember Pepe was there, and Jabs.
That's the guy I was trying to remember with you, Sam.
Yeah, Pepe,
yeah. Pepe, like the best aerial person in the world, man. He can header from anywhere, and I don't even know. But generally, that's when it all started. So I came for I started in a November or October, roughly around there, and I played for like quite a few progressive months. Then I started saying to, it was a bit weird, like Nikesh started to choose me over Walji, even though Walji was more regular. I think it was something Walji missed a game or two and like whatever happened. But I remember that it started getting to a point where Sam, you and me started speaking. I think Ade was there. I remember the whole story that you said about Ade and the knee thing that he came back from. Because that first game that he played, he was flipping explosive.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy has not had no knee up, or he ain't had no knee problem. Like he would, this guy, Ade was belting. I had never seen a shot like that going corners on a hot day. And like the swish of the net, it was quite crazy. I remember Sam and me were like quite shocked. We were like, no way you would have had a knee issue or anything like that. So I think as the months progressed, I think Sam, we got irritated. We kept waking up, like getting there for like 9:30. People who have gone out on a Saturday night, you know, gone on a bender, whatever they've done, don't turn up like the next day. Then it was like about 7v4, and then we have to split it. And then I think one of the final straws was someone brought, like, I'm not saying it's anything wrong, but we were short of players, and someone brought an 8-year-old or something. And do you remember that, Sam? I can't remember who it was yet, but it kind of like made you kind of think that I'm waking up on a Sunday morning, I'm killing off like 2-3 hours of my day, and coming in and trying to put that effort on playing, and people don't have the respect to say, listen, I can't make it tomorrow, can you get someone? And then I think Nix was starting to run the game a bit weird. Like he was very picky and choppy and this and this. And I mean, like, I get his frustration, but there was times when he was a bit rude and this, and not to me, but like to odd players. I think people were frustrated. And it came to a point where MZ, me, Sam, and I can't remember how many times I played with you there. But
Sunday,
remember,
I played 2 games Sunday only, but I was playing Wednesday before that anyway.
So I remember Walji was one of the guys that spoke up with Sam, and he was like, we should take people like Ade and, you know, like us lot. We should make a little midweek game because we're not getting satisfied on a Sunday. Yeah. Let's start something in the midweek, isn't it? Obviously, Imzi being the catalyst and Sam being the vocal side to it. But yeah, it was like a collective of us lot, isn't it? Like, I remember Walji being there, Ade being there, Sam being there, Imzi being there, me. Rish was even like, yeah, let's give it a crack. Harvey came in a couple of Sunday games, and I told Sam, Harvey's a baller. He was an almost professional until he bust his foot up, semi like professional, whatever it was. I think it was Derby County or something like that. Something, I can't remember what he went in the academy for. That's something you'll have to ask him. But yeah, like generally,
Harvey.
Yeah. Harvey was like, you know, like that's another story. But he broke his foot on. I don't remember how he kicked the ball or something like that, but he hit the steps and it totally cracked his foot. Okay. But yeah, the general gist of it was a collective. We all spoke about it. We thought it was a good idea. We were sick and tired of making effort on a Sunday and not getting our football fix.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest problem, that not getting your football fix. Especially like, you don't have to be the most avid fan of football. You can enjoy watching it. You can enjoy playing it more than, I think this is me on the later stages of life as well. I feel like I'm not too in depth with my stats and stuff with football, but I needed my fix.
Yeah.
So playing that game, that was the only football that I had at that time. And yeah, generally that's it. So then we just had that talk. Then we did a couple of weeks. We convinced Pepe. I think Sam and Imzi said the only thing I don't want to do is kill off Nick's football because it's a horrible feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want to transition something and take everything out of it, the good elements, and leave him. But I think that football was on its way down. It was less and less effort by people. I think it was a general good idea that we all had that discussion. Yeah. And that was like many years ago. That was like, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, it feels like a
I think 10, 11 years ago, man.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's how it started. It all started off with a conversation and wanting our football fix.
And your rep in the group has been increasing ever since.
Yeah. But Sam, do you miss the early days of football? Like, there was a lot of flair in that football. Like, everyone used to come, fun. There was a lot of flair. Like, the competitiveness wasn't there.
Of midweek,
like, which it is now. No, like Wednesday. Like, it was very competitive. Yeah. Like, now it's competitive, Azza.
Yeah.
But back then, it was all about flair football, and it'll get to a point where at the end of the game, we'll be like, oh, did you see me do that little step or blah, blah, blah. It was like a little fun game. And then it just turned up as we got more players. Yeah, turned up a notch. Yeah, it's quite good. The history of the football is wicked. Just a lot of things, like the way, we'll talk about it anyway. The history of midweek has progressed.
Listen, can I just say something? I'm not interested in someone like Jabs and his little flair where he flip-flaps nobody and then it turns into nothing. There's no end product in that, mate. So
I think the problem with Jabs is he was still trying to play that fun football. But at the same time, there was times, I remember we played on a Jake's boys, and can't remember who it was. It was Shanks that switched that jab, saying that, listen, you need to stop being greedy with the ball. And that minute in that game, it flipped and we won the game. We totally bossed them. And I think he does that quite a lot. I think he enjoys the flair, but sometimes you need to have a bit of respect for, like, not respect, that's a bit harsh. I think he comes to enjoy his game, isn't it? I think our mentality was somewhere else and his mentality was somewhere. Probably had a lot of games going on in the week.
But
I do miss flairness, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but I think that's probably where things change, wouldn't it? There's having fun, doing, you know, enjoying yourself, but I think we become more, we want to win orientated.
Yeah. I don't want to pay £7 to just see one guy do 90% of the game. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be included as a team, isn't it?
Most definitely. And your kind of story, even though like obviously you're talking about the flair side of things, but everyone's stories, especially people who started from early, the consensus seems to be of how much the game has increased in terms of intensity, quality in the terms of like all around play. We had flair players before, like you said, but now people who are able to use flair effectively rather than just for like maybe showboats. And then again, because of the speed and the intensity of the game, you haven't got time on the ball to use flair. So now and again, when the trick does happen, it's a lot more meaningful because it's part of something, part of a passing movement. But like you said, the intensity has increased, and now it's to a point where, as much as we're all friends and casual with it, there's still that really nice competitive edge to it as well.
Yeah.
But we will be getting Ali Shafi's ultimate week 7, his fantasy team for midweek league right after this.
And so let us fill our boots once more. The gift that keeps on giving what a gripping narrative it constantly is. Here comes the Premier League. Who catches Liverpool now? Manchester City are beaten in the league. Liverpool are pulling away. There surely is no stopping them now. All things still possible in the jostle for Europe. United lead on Derby Day! Vardy, it is 5. It's all square again. The protégé leads his mentor.
The fight for Premier League survival comes firmly into focus.
Face to face, toe to toe. The stakes could not be higher. Wherever you are on the surface of the globe, welcome back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Midweek Banter. We're here with Ali Shafi, and we've been talking about memories of midweek and
Team Abs.
Azad, you're the co-host. This is supposed to show no bias here.
I'm sorry. I apologise. I apologise to our fans.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love the rivalry. I was saying to the boys before we were recording that you won't hear much from me in this episode. It'll just be these two going at each other like an old married couple, and I'll just take a back seat. But yes, we're back with Ali Shafi, and now we are going to find out his ultimate 7 team. So it's time for this. So we're going to be finding out what Ali Shafi's ultimate 7 is for all the players that he's played with. And of course, we keep it more kind of active players. So obviously, Connor is someone who would go in most people's 7. But again, bless him, because of his injury and his time out of football, maybe it's not that fair to include him.
Yeah.
Most people's. And I just want to say as a disclaimer, just because I'm here and doesn't mean you have to include a goalkeeper in your formation, because quite often, in fact, before I was keeper, the formation was that you would have either 3 or 2 at the back, and then people would just rotate in goal. Different people would take turns in goal. So you don't have to. You can go with the thing. But obviously, I'm quite happy to be in your 7 if you so choose. So, Shafi, go ahead. Tell us. You can tell us your formation.
Okay. So originally, Sam, you weren't in my 7s, but I was thinking like we both do kind of like you are the better keeper, but I mean like I think everyone can put like when you have defenders, you can put a shift in. Like I think putting you as a keeper on my team is cheating because most weeks I have you as well, so can't be doing favoritism. I thought I'd change it, switch it up a bit.
Yeah, man.
So I've done Abs at the back. Team Abs.
Aims are ya?
I'm gonna pay for it later on the show. Abs, me in the back because Shafi is the best. And if I'm captain of the team, I can be the worst liability, and the others can be the best. There's less work for me. So Abs in the back with me, and then I've got Harvey, Hardick, Jake, Lux in the middle, and then Z up top.
Harvey, Hardick, Jake, and Lux. So how? And who's up top?
Z.
Z. So what's that formation like? So you've got two at the back.
Yeah.
So two next to each other at the back, and then so Jake, Hardick, Harvey, and Lux. So how are you?
With Hardick, I like the fact that he can track back, push a ball out quick from deep defense. He's always active. Whatever area he's in, he'll always push the ball out to someone that's quick. Jake's good at passing, isn't it, with the interlink, and having Lux there, again, great at passing, because I remember Lux used to pop shots. I remember one of my best goals is that he chipped it right from the corner of defense, and I smacked it across Shanks B. So Lux can do the long thing. Z is a bit of a trickery player. Harvey, obviously, controlling, passing, movement through the thing. It's a very strong midfield, but a lot of technicality and game changers in there. Yeah. As I said, I could be the worst guy on the team, and it wouldn't show. Because I got the best player on the team.
Listen. We know why Harvey's there, because he's got old draw hand.
Yeah. The camel needs a rider.
I'll do. It's good to get Lux in a team though, because I do rate Lux. I do rate Lux, and I think at one point, and I'll say it now, because just so I know he's been watching, and in case he's forgotten, I rated Lux probably the second best finisher at one point. The boy can finish, to be fair to him, and I think he's quite cool in front of goal. Don't think I've ever seen him panic in front of goal.
No.
Yeah, good player. Wish he was still playing, to be fair.
Yeah, sweet shot as well.
Yeah, good shot. Good.
Very sweet shot. He's like a Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's the second time that someone's
a pop shot.
When Addy came on, we compared Lux to Kevin De Bruyne. One, because of his passing ability, but also the way he hits as well. There's very little backlift, isn't there? He doesn't lift his...
Very little backlift.
Wind it up to Welly.
Just like it slices the ball, I don't know how he pops the power in there, but yeah, I just think that's quite a controlling team, isn't it? And as I said, Sam, you see me in goalkeeping as well. I can put a shift in as well.
Exactly, yeah. And it makes more sense to also freshen up the keeper and give maybe people in your defense. Yeah. Yes. So I'm still trying to establish, so is your midfield, because you packed your midfield, and Jake talked about this in the last episode of what a nice tactic it can be, depending on your position, to completely flood the midfield full of players, and then you've got someone like Z up front, then your finishing is sorted. But then when you've got that kind of Hardick and Jake behind that, then it's fine. So is that like a flat four?
No. See, with me, I think Jake's quite good. He can play behind a striker. Jake's very active. He'll move in good angles and everything. I think Lux and Hardick dropping slightly behind him with Harvey, because Hardick and Lux can also help out with the defensive duties.
Right. And
they push the ball out quick. So I'd rather put Jake behind Z. Yeah.
Okay. So then, like an attacking midfielder.
Yeah. And then Harv in the middle, and then Hardick and Lux on either side.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is a coincidence or it's something in your subconscious, but you've got a penis formation here. So you've got the two defenders.
You figured it out. I was hoping that will run till the end of the show.
I mean, it makes sense. He's got two of the biggest knobs in the group playing at the back there. So
yeah. So
I got the longest in the shower playing behind Z.
yeah.
So you've got you and Abs as the ball.
Abs at the back, yeah.
And then you've got here Harvey at the base of the shaft, I think you would say.
Yeah. And then you got kind of like testicles on the left and right, Hardick and Lux.
Yeah.
And then you got the long part of the penis is Jake and Z. That's a very penetrating formation.
Well played. I like it.
That's quite an interesting information, especially in it's really nice, like as I said, to see Lux in there, especially because he hasn't played as of late. So if I'm gonna kind of maybe throw the cat amongst the pigeons there, the fact that Lux hasn't played with us in such a while, no matter his quality, again, it's a similar situation to Connor. Like Lux might be in a lot of teams, but he hasn't played a lot recently. So if you could replace Lux alongside Harvey with someone else, or would you change your formation? Or
I'll replace Lux with Shanks.
Nice.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what? I've had tight defensive duties with Shanks a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you know what the good thing about Shanks is that there'll be a moment in the game that either I'm pissing about or he's pissing about, and we'll have the biggest shout and moan at each other and like swear and everything, and we'll walk off that pitch and we'll just laugh about it and hug, share a cigarette. But yeah, no, I'll put Shanks there because I think this, like, as you know, isn't it? Like, I don't know whether he's played for your 11th side or anything like that, but playing a long time with Shanks, I don't think I've ever had a dull moment in defense with him. Like, I bounce off him quite a lot. In fact, my game improves with Shanks. There's a lot of trust between our partnership over there. So I think Shanks is someone that I'll replace with Lux.
So,
yeah, good pick, mate.
That means that the penis goes flaccid.
Yeah.
Right, so does the formation change?
Yeah. You know what? Just to make it interesting, I think I would do a full duty and goal. Put Shanks and Abs at the back, and then more like Harvey and Jake, and then Z up top still. So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Is that right?
Wait. So you're saying you'd have Shanks in defense?
Shanks in defense with Abs. Yeah. Me in goal for the full time.
Yeah.
And then Hardick on the left, Harvey middle, Jake right, and then Z up top.
Okay. So so you just got so it's a slightly shorter penis, but it's
more triangle.
That's you got the Christmas tree thing going on here. So you in goal, and then Abs and Shanks at the back, and then you've got your midfield three of Hardick, Jake, and Harvey, and then you've got Z up top by himself.
Yeah, that's it. And I think with Abs and Shanks in the back, I don't think I would have much trouble in goal, firstly.
Yeah.
And I think Harvey and Hardick are very controlling, and I think Jake is good with a free roll because he moves around a lot. One thing I hate about Jake is that he'll be like Shafi, oncoming player, but his player's running across me as well because he's so active that he's keeping it's like he's got eyes at the back, but he's keeping 360, but he plays a lot of that free roll. But I think that suits his game. I don't think Jake can, if he's stuck to a position, it'll probably be good. Like, Jake's a good player, but I think a free roll suits him more. He does more for the team on a free roll, I think.
So I don't know if Azza's going to ask this or not, but there seems to be a severe lack of wild G in either of those formations. What's that about?
That's because he's trying to rep South Oxy. The guy from Elstree.
You purposely not picked anybody that wants to play for the winning team. That's what's happened here.
That's it.
And if that's the case, you better take Shanks out because he ain't playing for Abs.
Nah, don't worry, man. I'm a agent, isn't it? I'll sign him onto my roster.
Yeah. Good
he
luck.
He owes me a Kevin's, by the way. He lost his FPL bet last year. Maybe I can cash that in for Team Abs.
What FPL bet? Say that again.
So we had an FPL bet last year. Who's going to finish above each other? And the loser takes the other on a date to Kevin's, which is some amazing, like a shop. £30 that date. I'm pretty sure he'll play for Team Abs for £7.
Fucking hell.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to tell you to threaten his family. The usual suspect.
Lads, I've completely flopped the scheduling here. So I've gone on to the Ultimate Sevens, and as I said, I was supposed to be doing the teammate section. So I completely flopped that. That's my bad. So up to you, Azza. Do you wanna lead the teammate section or?
No, you better do it, mate. You can do it. No worries.
All right, cool. And then I'll let you take over with some more personal questions. So now it is time.
That's no
for
question.
this.
Personal questions or attacking? He's got a
Listen,
smirk
you'll
on his
find out
face.
in a minute, mate. Stop panicking.
Yeah. He's got a mad smirk on his face. Personal question coming up next.
Of course he has, because you're on the show. That's why he knows what he's got planned. I don't think he's even told me. Like, I've had a little glance over, but I'm sure he's got a few questions tucked away there to kind of ruffle some feathers, which I'm looking forward to. So we'll see. But yeah, of course, now it's time for the teammate section. So really quickly, we're going to ask Ali Shafi really quick fire questions about his teammates. So, Ali, who is the hardest worker?
Hardest worker. From recent, what I reckon, hardest worker is. It's a really hard one, man. Hardest worker. You know what? I don't want to say it, but Rossi's crossing my mind just because he is all over the place. But I don't want to get to Oxy.
Let me intervene. Shafi, you can really redeem yourself here if you do the clever thing and give an honest answer. So use that man's name back in your mouth and just give the answer.
Hardest worker.
Let's.
We know what he's in.
You know what? My mind's gone blank, like with everyone that we've got there. You know what? If I won't go for Rossi, is it current teammates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean?
Or,
Sean?
who?
Yeah.
Shan?
Yeah.
Shan.
You're
Yeah.
Shan.
Yeah, Shan.
He actually works for
Oxy
Council.
again, then.
Huh?
You're giving it to Oxy again then, so you might as well choose Rossi.
Nah, yeah, you know what? I will go for Rossi, just because it was a bit mean what I said to him, isn't it? But Rossi, if you're listening, cover that damn space, isn't it? Stick to a damn place. Stop cutting me up. Yeah, no, Rossi is a hard worker. I don't see him non-stop running. Between him and Bran, I say Bran's in, but like Rossi is always running. I ain't seen a moment where Rossi doesn't really move.
Yeah.
Like, it comes to a point where if he comes near me and he's on the opposite side, it's irritating. I don't like tracking him because it is difficult. He's actually got a crazy stamina, man. The guy was jogging on his day off.
We was out yesterday and he done the whole. Instead of walking towards where we were plotted up on the field, he like had a little jog, half a sprint on, coming towards us rather than just having allegedly walk over to us. So that's something to be honest.
He's like cancer, probably, isn't he? He'd probably jog to training, wouldn't he? He's that kind of.
Yeah. He's a constant mover on the pitch, isn't it? That is, I deem that as hard work. Like constantly moving.
Yeah.
You know, creating time without.
I've taken off one of the bad questions now.
No, I want the bad questions. I'm actually looking forward to them.
All right, what's next? What's next one, Sam?
So he settled on Rossi, but we're saying Bran and Shan are definitely up there on your list, Shafi, yeah?
Yeah, Bran and Shan definite as well. Yeah,
definitely. Hope to see him play more as well. Quickest.
What, weakest?
No, quickest. Fastest.
Quickest. It has to be Zeeb, because I've seen him knock the ball past me on Westfields, and he can, even on five-a-side. You know, now I've learned Zeeb's game so much that I've been playing with him over the years that when he knocks the ball, I can almost see it at his feet. So I'll step in front of him, or I'll hold him, or I'll hold the arm, like, which will slow him off balance him. I'm a dirty defender, isn't it? I think Z, he is the quickest.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, he kicks that ball. If Connor was playing, I would say Connor, because that guy like skips on ground. But Z, 100% Z.
It seems to be. To be honest, I don't know how many times we're going to ask that question about quickest, because the answer just seems to just be the same.
Yeah.
It would be Connor, but it's not. So it's Z. So it's just, everyone's answer. Okay, in fact, that's what we're going to do. That one was, unless your answer is Connor or Z, I'm not asking you that question. So you're going to let beforehand. And if
You know what? I'll be very honest with you. Azza, you're not gonna like it, yeah. But Abs, even though he doesn't show it, Abs is a freaking quick player, man. Like, the guy can jet. I know he's gained a bit of weight or whatever, but in his peak, he was so damn fast. And like he leads defending with shoulder inward cuts to the player. If a player has the ball, Abs is smart, isn't it? He'll lead in with the body and like cut off your angle. But Abs is actually really, you'll be shocked. The amount of times I've seen him when he's been at his peak and fit, the guy, he moves very quick on the pitch. But nowadays, I think he's more spatial awareness and how to use that area. He doesn't like tire himself out or exert too much, stamina. He'll do the smart thing and cut the angle more than, making that physical kind of jet to the place, if that makes sense.
The only thing he can jet is fucking jet wash, mate. Jet wash my car.
You're dying to get them belts off him, isn't it? You're going to upset his kids.
So we're saying Abs may be quick, but of course Z is the fastest man. And so then in that same breath, then slowest. Who's the slowest player? What's that smart for?
Slowest. Malik.
What? What the fuck just happened there? What are you talking about?
Have you seen him run with his knee pads? The guy is the slowest, man. He's like Sylvester Stallone in what's that? Expendables, running to the handle.
You're the best, mate. What's actually happened there is he's dying to talking about him, but he's in his head. He's just
I like Malik.
Just giving him the answer.
Malik's a cool guy, man. Malik's a nice guy, isn't it? His football's not nice, but he's a nice guy.
That's the best answer we've had.
I don't know what I found funny. The fact that he said Malik or your reaction as that. I don't know what.
Bro, he's played, hasn't he? But he's 100% the slowest.
Oh,
okay.
So we're saying
Sean is definitely quicker than Malik.
I think that's the funniest answer because the question is from the current players we have. And not only is he not a current player, he left in quite some style.
Yeah.
He's very obviously not part of the current style.
Mate.
All right, so what, you want me to choose someone else? I want to stick with Malik.
What, mate? I don't know.
Mate,
What's that?
I don't know if anyone remembers how he ran. I think Matt.
Oh my gosh.
Shawnu's got long strides, isn't it? I've run against Shawnu, and Shawnu can keep up because he's got bigger strides. So I'm trying to think who's the slowest. If
Must
it
be
ain't
you,
Malik.
mate. If Shanu can keep you up.
Shawnu's got big strides. Like Imzi's quick, but Imzi's
Yeah.
got like big strides, isn't it? He covers more ground, like whereas like other conventional running. I don't know really. I can't do the hub like that. I'll nominate myself. Recently, I think I've been quite slow. Actually, am I slow? Azza is the slowest.
I can tell you now I'm not. But
When we're having that race, Azza.
as soon as we're back, mate.
Yeah. I still stick with, I know like current squad, Mullet. I think, you know what? Out of everyone, I feel like maybe like in the slow like bracket might be me, Azza, maybe Shawnu, Bran. We're like around that area. I can't really differentiate until we have that little race. But I haven't seen Bran run fast. Have you ever seen Bran run fast?
I haven't seen him like kind of.
He wouldn't be someone I would have thought of. Me, you, Shanu, Andy, and Ryan because he runs
as well. Yeah. Actually, sorry, Ryan runs like Sylvester Stallone as well from Expendables. But he's got you know what I don't understand? Ryan runs slow, but his leg movement and flick of the ball is so damn quick. Have you noticed how quick his foot movement is?
That's when he starts back, mate.
Yeah. So if I can't differentiate between one, but if I had to, like what Azza said, put it in a bracket, I think myself, Azza, Shanu, Ryan, Andy, but Malik will definitely be the slowest out of all of us.
I love that. I love that. Let him have that as his last answer.
Yeah. I want Malik as my answer.
You seem adamant about Malik, so we'll go with Malik.
Yeah.
We'll go with Malik. Okay, who's the hard man of the group?
Hard man of the group. I think someone said that in the group. Like, they're trying to blow their own horn. Was it a guy from Oxy?
You always hate, mate.
You know what? I'll give it to Azza just because of the stories that we've heard, isn't it? But wait. I think Rossi, you know what? I think Rossi, there's something about Rossi that I can imagine him throwing a guy over the bar. I can imagine him throwing a guy over the bar. Like, you know, like the whole Western saloon kind of fights. And he just throws someone over the bar or a table.
See,
there's something about Rossi.
Okay, so it's a funny one because as much, and Jake said this about Rossi as well, but he seems like, obviously, like, he'll just take knocks. He's a hard man. He'll go in hard on challenges. Like Jake said, he plays without his laces on and all that stuff. But I imagine him, and again, I don't know this, Azza will confirm this for me or not. I imagine him to be a very, very calm, mellow, chill, nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, yeah.
I reckon Rossi's taken a few.
I can't imagine him doing any of the stories that I've heard from Az about your life, Az.
Well, put it this way, all the stories you two heard, Rossi's been there holding me back more often than not. So, yeah.
Exactly.
He's not windmilling his way in and getting involved.
Yeah. You're right. Wait, are we classing hard man as in on the pitch tough or out of the pitch tough?
No. I think because we only know of people, like, we know of, like, obviously some stories that some people may share, but ultimately we only know what we see of them on the pitch. So stick with pitch hard man.
I think you know what? I don't often see Jake or Rossi complain about being kicked, and I've kicked Rossi a few times just to slow him down. If Rossi will tell you, I've even tripped him up once. I think I even tripped up Azza. Azza was rolling backwards to.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was
Azza. The ball got kicked out by Sam. Sam was on your side. Azza was looking ahead, trying to get the ball. I was a defender. I just stood aside and I just put my leg in between his legs, and he fell back over, and the ball just went. Do you remember that, Azza?
I remember, yeah. I don't know what happened to me. I was just on the floor.
Yeah, he was confused. I was like, how the hell did I drop over? And people were like, I remember Z turned around and said, why is Az on the floor? And, but I think hard man on pitch, I think I've never seen Jake complain or Rossi complain about a kick. And I reckon I've kicked Jake a few times, but Rossi a lot. There's been a lot of times I've actually kicked Rossi, so he's never complained.
Who would you
and
say?
he never calls a foul, to be honest. No. He just says, I remember like a few times in our team, like in a game when people call a foul, he'll be like, for F's sake, isn't it? It's a man's sport. Yeah, so Rossi.
Yeah, for Rossi. Okay, yeah. Again, that seems to be a common theme as well. Who would you say is the most skillful?
Most skillful. You know what? That's a really, really hard one to kind of. Everyone's got their like box skill, that the asset that they bring to the game, and it's really hard because you see a lot of skill. Even like people won't say I'm the most skillful, but to do a nutmeg and get the timing right on a pass is quite skillful. And then there's others that are more technical, but skillful is like a really hard one. If I had to say most. You know what, Harvey? The only reason now, I'll explain why, because the amount of times that we've seen a ball come up in the air, he'll control it, but the amount of times we've also seen him kick or knee a ball over two opponents a few times or drag it left and right, I think Harvey's, never, you know what we were talking about, the whole jab thing, Harvey never forces a skill. He'll do it at the moment when it's due. So he'll read the game and do it. I think Harvey, and I'm pretty sure both of you have seen him like knee the ball over people and take them. Sometimes like he'll score a goal and we'll all start. There's times when Sam and me are in the back and we're making sound effects like, God damn. Like, so I think Harvey is skillful, but I think generally that the whole midweek ballers, I don't think there is really a poor player because everyone brings an asset to the game. I think it's really hard to judge that, but if I had to say skill, just because of things that I've seen. And I think that one time Rish was drunk. He did that rainbow flick over Rossi. And then 2 seconds later, the ball's in the air and Ade's on Rish's side. But the guy shouldered the ball over me and kneed the ball over Ade. And Ade and me just ended up clashing but hugging and just laughing. And that was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, Rish was a bit drunk. But I think Harvey's skillful.
Yeah.
There's things that he does in the game at the right time, right element.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going for Harvey, most skillful. Okay. How about most intelligent? Now, this is purely on football.
Okay.
What you know about the
You know
people.
what?
Football intelligence.
You know when, as in football intelligence, as in pitch intelligence, or you're talking about pure about football knowledge?
On the pitch.
No, on the pitch, like kind of like, no, not about like quiz knowledge and stuff.
You know, so when Azza said that first time, the whole football intelligence and blah, 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 me, him, and Harvey had like a good discussion. And I think you were there as well, Sam. We all had that discussion. And I think one point that Harvey did raise is that there's certain players, yes, they can be intelligent on the pitch, but they don't interact as well as if you put another 2 intelligent players on the same side.
Yeah.
And sometimes the flow of the game, given that, like, I'll say, for instance, say, as and me on the same side, we've had like good defending things, yeah. But if I'm not singling you out as or nothing like that, but pushing forward. But if we've got Hardik and Z on our side, I think that's kind of like sometimes we need to class that as football intelligence, like who can do the better role at a certain place. So I think the football intelligence thing is really, really hard. But if I had to say like one of the most I've seen, it's probably going to be out of, and not taking anything away from like say you or any other player. I'm just saying it in relation to what I've seen them do over the years and how they've improved players around them. I think Jake probably, and given that what he when he first came, Jake didn't like. I know MZ's. The good thing about MZ is like we're all saying he's constantly improving, and that's wicked. Because as the games have got more competitive, and he's had to step up his level. He's had to understand a bit more, isn't it? And I think when Jake first came, he didn't really know MZ that well, but I realized that he was passing a lot of the ball through MZ. And even if he was making the mistakes in the game and whatever, I think I think Jake. It's Jake, and it'll be a bit biased of me to choose Abs. It's just because the reason being, I've seen him beat a lot of the best players in my school. Like Claremont High School, there were like a lot of Brent champions or something like that. But he had a lot of ballers. Like the guys that play in Sunday, there were a lot of ballers in that high school. And they used to bully other teams like Wembley High, Preston Manor, blah, blah, blah. So I think Abs is up there for me in terms of like his intelligence on reading out a play. But I think Jake, because Jake trusts a lot of people, even when I'm messing up and I'm doing stupid things, and Jake will tell me, can you not like take risks in the back? Jake will still have that trust. Mm. And I think actually, you know what? That's one thing that we see less in the game. Have you noticed that? The trust of the ball, like pass the ball nearby or pass it to the guy that's being marked by a guy over there, like just to hold. I feel like there's less trust in the game at these times, and it's very quick moving football and very precise now. Mm. Before we'll take the element of chance. Like say if you're defending say Jake or whoever, like pumping that ball straight to them in hopes that the other team will run on and move the ball about. I feel like that element of taking risks is kind of gone from our game, like midweek. I've noticed that. It might just be me, but I feel like that.
Yeah, to an extent, as the competitiveness goes up and there's more kind of like bragging rights at stake and more people want to win the game, then you
don't want to make mistakes. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you don't want to have those mistakes, and then because especially people in this group are ruthless, they won't let you forget about it as well either.
Yeah, like my own goal.
Yeah, that you like your own goal.
You know what? That was the biggest slap in my face. You know how upset I was when I went home.
You need footage. I wasn't there. I want footage.
Man, as Amir just gave it the biggest trash talk all week. And during the game, I thought, yes, I finally got it. Draw's not bad. Then that own goal happened. I was so down about that, man. That was the worst.
For
That was
weeks.
the
He couldn't sleep for weeks, mate.
Yeah, I remember going home just being quiet. I was so annoyed.
It was the most beautiful moment in the midweek ballers history.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So,
I went to Jake on that football intelligence.
yeah, again, there seems to be a pattern emerging. And to be honest, the more answers that come out for Jake, I might take that question off the table as well, because with his, especially with his experience as well, we talked about his experience, and how he improves other people. So yeah, Jake, intelligent is no surprise there. In pairing with that, the least intelligent.
Least intelligent. Can't choose Malik twice, can I? No, Jake, I'm joking. I'm joking, Jake.
I mean, kid handballed it 3 times within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have said that was very clever, would you?
No. Let me think. Who's least intelligent? And it's all from the current squad. It's really hard to choose from the current squad that is playing who the least intelligent is.
Well, yeah. I mean, like if you really must go further back, but maybe let's not make it someone too obscure that no one will know, even if it's like an old player that doesn't play with us anymore. But obviously, it's a lot more fun and controversial if you say someone that's in the current squad, and then you see them on a Wednesday and then look them in the eye and say, "It's you."
Yeah, man. I'm trying to list out. I'm trying to imagine what our squad is in the.
I'll tell you what, Shafi, we're running out of time on this segment.
Yeah.
So we'll go to a break, and we're going to plug some adverts, and then we'll be back, and hopefully that should give you some time to think about who the
our
teammates. So we'll be back. We've got a couple more questions for Shafi before we get a little bit more personal, and we'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Midweek banter. We're here with Ali Shafi, and we're doing the teammate section. And we're on to least intelligent. And Shafi was a bit unsure who to put there. And I don't know if he was trying to protect feelings as well. But let's hear it, Shafi. You've had some time to think.
I think Yasin, after I thought about it, because if I have to compare him,
we haven't heard in a long time. Interesting.
Yeah, just because he's got pace and everything, but he takes it into the corner quite a lot of time, which is dead football. Like it doesn't really help the team, isn't it, if you keep going in that same angle and doing the same predictable thing. And I think, I think least intelligent, because if you're playing the position that he occupies, you're supposed to be bringing the game into the action section of the pitch, not in the corner where you're going to be held up by a defender. You're already smaller and you're like one of the smaller bodied guys in the whole list that we had. And I remember even with me, I can hold him off with a hand. And that's me putting no effort in. So I think for him, least intelligence just because of things that he does on the pitch. And I'm reflecting on that. I'm trying to be as fair as possible on that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, fair enough. And again, a name we haven't heard in a long time. So good to hear some old names back. Right, now this one's, we've had the answer for this one be the same each week with every single person, okay? So you are allowed to choose this person, but I would also like to hear from your point of view someone else as well. So the joker of the group.
Joker of the group.
Okay, so
it's a sharp one. I'm not going to choose myself, but it's a sharp one between Azza and Abs. Since Abs came in that midweek group, both of you.
Don't have him. He's been in the group for 2 days.
But he turned that group into full volume. Like
he done nothing without me.
I think Joker, yeah, it's gonna be if I don't choose myself. You see, with me, sometimes I like saying something to Jake because just to wind him up. Because I used to do it to Bran quite a lot, and then Bran started clocking on, and Bran stopped reacting to, and it used to be like I was thinking, oh great, and I have to start choosing someone else. Then I start choosing Rish now and again, but I feel like sometimes Rish and my kind of little back and forth gets a bit heated. And it's not nice. As in, I like everyone in the group. I don't have a problem with anyone in the group. But I do like to wind people up. I do it to my older brother. I do it to, like Abs and me and Harvey. Like, general gist of Abs and my friendship, I've known him for like 20 years. But to be in a group with Abs and like all my friends, you have to have mental strength that you're not going to let a single message affect you. It's just a message. Because Abs is behind the screen laughing and giggling, and his wife and my wife are like quite good friends, and they was like, "Does your husband always laugh behind the screen?" And like they're saying it's a boys group, it's a football group, and I think it's between you two. If I had to choose, Az is quite. And once he starts taking a joke too far, Az is like, you could break a man's confidence. There'll be like a C bomb. There'll be like a C bomb, an F bomb, and like. Jog on, mate. This kind of shit. I'm gonna say, I'll go on a basis of recent, and only because he's causing controversy. But you know what? Actually, Andy. I'm gonna choose someone different. Andy actually fucking makes me laugh. Ryan and Andy, and I think Andy actually does. He comes out with the most random thing. There'll be 1,000 messages, and Andy will have 2 messages in there, and it'll make me laugh. And then a stupid video will come in, and it's my kind of video. So I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna say Andy.
So you basically chose the white version of yourself.
Yeah, and you know what it is? What I like about Andy, the thing is that Ryan looks like the most sensible brother, and Andy gets him in a lot of trouble. But it reminds me of my older brother and my relationship. And Andy's exactly like me. He'll not think twice about what he wants to drop in a group because he doesn't care about others' opinions, just like me. And you need that kind of like, you need that lighting up in the group. There's a lot of lads, and there can be like a bit of like face-to-face competition, whatever. But I think it's kind of nice to have that. It's like the group is very mixed, and you have like a lot of. I remember there used to be a time when we started sending photoshops, like before the game hit on Wednesday. There'll be like posters going up. I remember Flash, like we did Brown as Flash or something.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
That is one of my favorites. And then we did the other one. I put the whole of T-Unit on a porn poster. And like, Max was like, why did you have to put me on the receiving end? I mean, like, there's a lot of banter in that group. And I think it's a good bunch of lads, and everyone brings a different thing. And I think I'll go on Andy just because, yeah.
So
similar to mine.
So you're going for Andy, but if I said, by all means, feel free to choose yourself, would you say you are the Joker of the group? The Joker?
I would. I'm the walking phoenix of the group. You know what it is? I think seriousness should be left for work. There's times when you should be serious, but if you're in a group full of lads and you play football with them and you have fun, I don't think you should take anything personal.
Yeah.
It should always be kept at that kind of, like, we've all known each other for what, 10 years or something like that, crazy? It gets to a point, isn't it? It's not just football. It's like, yeah, we can get on each other's nerves, but you get on your brother's nerves or your sister's nerves. Like, I think it's kind of, but yeah, Andy. But if I had to choose the last Joker, and that's just because of recent, I would say Abs, just because, bar what he said. No, come on, Azhar. Bar, like, forget you and Abs' thing, but just general, like, it's been like more chaos, like he's included everyone in a tornado. And it makes me laugh, just because, like, you know what it is? I'm so familiar with how he trolls people. And like...
The only thing that makes me laugh about Abs is how he tries to play football. I find it funny.
Azhar, you love Abs. You know you do.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
you've had your little chime on your little teammate again. We'll move on.
Yeah. No. Let me rectify. I'm gonna choose Andy anyway because I got mad love for Andy.
Yeah, Andy's a good.
And he's my boy.
You and Andy seem to have bonded quite well.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been here that long,
No.
like considering, like he hasn't been with us a long time. And you two talk like you've known each other for ages. But I think you see some of yourself in him, don't you? So
yeah, the white wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? White rhino. Sorry, not white wolf.
Yeah, that's the one. Andy the
White
White
Rhino.
Rhino. That's his new name.
And last but not least for this section, again, actually, to be honest, with some of the relationship that you've had with some of the people in the group, you might know this. Who would you say is the longest in the shower?
I can tell you that right now, Harvey is not the longest in the shower because when we go on holiday, there's a big argument about you better go in the shower. Like I remember we went with a group of lads and they all turned on me saying, Shafi, you're going in the shower first and we're waking up later. I'll say I'm actually the longest in the shower because I take a 40-minute shower. I brush my teeth for like about 23, 24 minutes.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
What's going on?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Sam, that time when he came to my flat, if you ask Caddy, like, how long and delayed I'm like, she'll go down to the car and I'll say I'm down in 2 minutes. And all I need to do is spray perfume on or whatever. She'll come out shouting, saying, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, all going from my cupboard, like messing around with things. I faff around a lot. And I think 20 minutes, I brush my teeth, but I think about yesterday and it's kind of like a nice, relaxing time to think about your thoughts. But shower-wise, 40 minutes.
So you're going for you longest in the shower?
100%. I'll outshout anyone. Jake, you heard that.
Well, Sam, can I sneak a couple into here?
Please do.
Yeah,
please
come
do.
on, add to it.
One's popped into my head. Shafi, who would you say, because obviously we keep count of our own scores, who would you say is the biggest cheater on midweek?
As in terms of counting goals?
Could be counting goals, calling
100%
foul.
Shanu.
100%.
100% Shanu. 100%
Yeah?
Shanu. You know why? He knows how to get to me and he'll play around with the score and be like, yeah. I only like it when he's on my side and he does that. But I try to be as fair as possible. And if I've got it wrong, yeah, there's odd times that I shout and blah, blah, say, no, it's like blah, blah, blah. But I think it has to be Shanu. He fiddles with the middle. Shanu 100% fiddles with scores. I'm a big cheat. My nieces and nephews know I am a big cheat.
These might be a little bit off topic, but I just want to quickly ask you as well. Who's your most hated person in the group or your least favourite player?
Least favourite player?
That's a good one. I like that little addition there.
That's a real hard one, Azza. You really stuck me in it, hasn't it? You want me to put a knife
Yeah,
in someone?
and if you want to bring up your mate now, you're more than welcome.
So my least favourite player to play with, yeah?
Yeah.
However you
I
want
would
to
say, let me think. Man, you really stuck it on me. Least favorite player would be.
We're going to have to get a stop clock, Sam.
Yeah, you're going to need a countdown.
To be fair though, I can this is a really hard question. You proper stuff. You said you were going to remove a hard question off the list because he was behaving.
Abs, this is all your fault, Abs. I think, okay, least favorite player to play with. I'm not gonna joke around and say Malik. Like, I'm not gonna go 3 for 3. I would have to say, you know what? As in, I know the quality of this player. Let me just get out of the way. The quality of the player is really good. I just feel like every time I've been on his side, I'm not able to get in sync with him in game-wise.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've played with him much. I would say Rish. I'm saying he's a great player, but for some reason I can't click with Rish. Even if we've had like another solid player on the side, I don't I find it hard because I know how Rish likes to receive the ball, do the turn, whatever. But yeah, I think that's one of the most difficult guys. It's yeah, and maybe in between. I'm not just choosing Oxley or whatever. I just find him. I just find Rish like I've not really clicked. I'm waiting for that game to click where we just smash it. I remember on Sunday football we clicked a lot, but I've not been able to find that same durability on a Wednesday game. I've not been able to do that again, replicate that kind of feeling.
And a quick one, who would your favourite be? But outside of people who you would have known beforehand.
Who would be my favourite out of the whole group? You, Azza. Crack a lot of jokes. I do message privately a lot. Saying stupid stuff.
Cute, mate.
Yeah.
There you go. He's knocked off another hard question for you now. It's a good choice.
Yeah. I think what he's done there, but
there you go. That's awesome, Shafi. Thank you very much. And that's our teammate section.
right, Shaf.
Yeah.
Get into memories a bit more, if we can.
Yeah.
Right. We know how you got involved in that, and how you started. And I'm assuming your first game will probably be similar to mine. I don't know if you remember I think the first week was the price slip, and then the next one was after that. So
Yeah.
Your first game, maybe, or?
Yeah. Oh, what? Say the question again. Sorry, it cut out.
Any memories you can recollect from your first game, or?
You know what? One of the most funniest memories I had. I remember there was a couple of weeks that I played with Sam, and it was just newly introduced. And I remember there was this one week. I don't know whether it was a Wednesday game when it was just starting to get that competitive kind of like, we want to win, blah blah blah. And I remember Sam was, I don't know if he was goal, he was in defense or something like that. But I remember I came at the end of the game, and I said, "Well played." And then Sam was like, "Shafi, no disrespect to the person you are, but how is that a fucking well played game?" And I was like, "Whoa, I ain't seen this side of Sam before in my life." Remember that, Sam? Near the goalpost. I even know which side of the goalpost it was closest to the door and on the right. And I was thinking, you know what? Sam's actually got a fiery character. And then I found out he did MMA or UFC, like he watches it. And then I was like, I'm not a guy that I want to tangle with. But I think that, and you know what? Actually, the other funniest thing was I once tripped up Imzi really hard on the line when he was just about to score. And then I put my hand out to lift him up, which I think was like a further like annoying him. And he slapped my hand out the way. I went, Imzi. And then I thought, yeah, Imzi's got a fiery character. I think those were like my funniest, like, I think that was like a nice memory because it was like a few weeks into knowing you. And then I was thinking, you know what, Sam's right. How can you say well played, like when that was actually a really bad game by your team as well? Like you lot got trampled on that week. So I kind of understood it. And it kind of, I think that's a memory. But other than that, I think those are like my favorite kind of memories, isn't it? Because that was like very heated game. I think even me and Shank, there was a moment when we just shouted at each other. Everyone was like, guys, calm down and blah, blah, blah. I think I like those kind of like moments in the game. Fiery moments.
So since we're talking about the game, I'll switch it to this one. Why do you never leave your little gardening patch, which has been named now?
That's because I've always been a stay-at-home kind of guy. I've always been a stay-at-home kind of guy. You know what it is, Azza? I'm thinking, you know what? I don't know if you remember, like, there was a point in my game where I used to bomb it up front or I'll do a lot of cut-ins and blah, blah, blah. I think as I've gotten a bit older, my game has gone lazier, but I know I've gained a lot of weight. So I feel like I do more on, I can pop that ball, because I remember the few times that Connor played with us, or Lux, people that are running, I'm able to pop that ball over, or I'm able to pass around two players, if I'm capable of that. But I have to admit, I put my hands up, like, not being biased to myself, or dishonest. I reckon a bit of my game has gone a bit lazy, and I feel a bit more relaxed. But I think that's kind of like become my natural kind of style as well, be a bit more relaxed. I think now that we've had a break from football, I have cheekily been doing jogging and everything like that because I've wanted to come back into the first game and hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, my game's gone a bit lazy because I don't know if Sam, you remember, or Azza, you remember, like, there used to be times when I would pop shots, score, I would take it past players, I'd be quick about my choice of where I'm going to play.
Yeah.
I think, you know what it is? I think one of the things is as we've got more good players, I feel like there's less duty for me. And just like defending, I like the player running to me.
Yeah.
I don't like to close a striker down. Someone like Zia's got quick foot, but because I played with him on the 5 side for so long and 7 side for so long, some of the people I know their games like really well, so it's better to let them come to you. And then you do a mistimed tackle. So like just when they're thinking of doing that little step over or push to the right, you just put that mistimed kind of tackle in, kind of throws off their sequence of what they're going to do. But yeah, I think my game's gone lazy. As the players have gone better, I feel like I'm less, like probably lower down the pecking order in that sense. But I know that when I turn up to a game, I can turn up.
Yeah.
It's just about putting effort there.
Also, it's been chucked at me to ask you because it's quite known, I would say, is after a loss, you do like to, it seems to deflect any blame towards yourself. Would you say you never accept any blame, and why do you always back the blame away for any losses you end up having?
All right, here's my point, yeah? Okay,
Cool.
I know that everything has to drop on the defender's shoulder, whatever. But then if there's parts of the game where you're outnumbered by 2, like I remember there was a game where I kept having Rish and Hardik, or Hardik and Z. I can't remember. It was one of them. It was one of that combination, constantly on my side, on the right. So I'm getting overlapped with 2 players. Now those are two or three brilliant quality players. Me as being a defender on the right, it's kind of hard to. So these kind of little mistakes, but also I know that there are times when I do take the blame. Where I'll say, oh, like Harvey is my witness. I'll say to him at the end, I had a whack game. This I could have done better. Shot. There might have been a few shots that I've just popped for no reason. Could have made that little run. But blame-wise, you know, when you're at the back, you see the whole game. Unless you're Sam and you're even further back from the defender, you see the whole game. This time when I got to Sam, and Sam's my goalkeeper, and I'm like, Sam, this is the problem, blah, blah, blah. Or I'll say to Sam, like, Z's next to a weaker opponent, throw the ball straight to him if you can't pass it out. Yeah, Sam? That's general gist of our tactics as well, that we launch it there. But blame-wise, can't take the whole blame. There's 6 other people on the damn team. Why am I going to take the blame?
All I've took for that is he'd admit it to Harvey in a quiet conversation, but he won't say it in the group, basically.
Every time they're taking the blame. But I think, like, if you can lose, if you're going to do too much in the middle and you lose the ball, those are not the blames that you can put on the guys at the back line.
No, of course not. All right, next one. Why are you so against Westfields?
No, I'm not. I played at Westfield, 4 times, 5 times? The thing is that when you lot have enough players, now here's my point, yeah. So you lot have, say if there's 14 players and 3 additional regulars, and then we say, let's do Westfields, what is it? How many years on the Westfield? 9 each?
We've done, yeah, I think we do 9s, didn't we? So 18.
So if there's going to be like more than 2-3 randoms and the chance that there's going to be drops and this, I'm like sometimes against it. And you know what? I do speak to Imzi quite a bit on it. And in terms of organizing the game and everything, it's like an extra headache that he has to take and worry about a pitch, getting all the logistics right. I think we're all grown up enough to say a couple of days before you can't play, you know what your schedule is. I think everyone's a grown up. Like, you wouldn't do that at work just on the day saying I ain't gonna turn up and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Act a bit professional and courteous to people that organize the game, put efforts in. Like, us lot sometimes make teams together. Like, and Imzi books a pitch, that's his money, and you know, like, all you have to do is turn up to a game knowing what color top you have to wear. We even put midweek's advanced that much that, like, when I start putting those things on the app, teams and names and everything, makes it easier for people. So I think Westfield-wise, there's been times when you lot had the number of players. I just find it boring being at the back in a big square, not much going on. Yeah, it's good that it's cheaper price. Yeah, you can get a whole bunch of numbers in. But when you got like 2, 3 randoms or 4 randoms or 5 randoms on top of it, I'd rather not waste my time on a Wednesday. I don't mind coming down and watching, but I mean, like, from like work and all this and other things, I don't get to see like my family much, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'd rather dedicate that hour and a half doing something, sitting down. You know, like, even my wife's got a busy schedule, man. She works in a high-end bank in City with hedge funds and all this kind of rubbish. And we don't get to see each other much. So if I'm going to sacrifice that Wednesday hour, I would always get at Bushy, because my motivation is that I come see you, all of you lot, so I catch up with you. Right? And it's enjoyable. And I really, really like that. As I say, I don't say it enough, like, but the whole group of boys that we've got in the group are really nice guys. And as much as I wind them up, it makes me like their personality more, that they're reactive to it, or they can laugh about it later. But I don't think I'm against Westfield. I understand Harvey's point of view as well. Big pitch. You know what? The throw-ons are a lot of waste of time. I think the goal shape, is the goal shape different from Bushy? Smaller?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, just certain things. There's certain negatives about it. And I think Bushy is quite good. Like, you got the 14. Like, I'm like always Bushy. I don't mind doing Westfield if we have like a solid, like, regulars. But if we've got a couple of randoms in there, I don't want to really give up my Wednesday. And there's been times where I haven't really sacrificed your lot's games. Like, if you lot don't have enough numbers, there's been times where I said, fine, I'll add my name to the list just so everyone can play. Yeah. But if there's times when you lot got enough numbers and I can bow out, I'm going to dedicate that evening to my wife. Now I've got a kid, dedicated to them as well.
Yeah. Right, next one. What's the crack with the mould gate? You don't like no one wearing moulds?
My wife doesn't like black toes. She won't touch my feet at night. She'll tell me to, like, stick my foot out the covers. No, that's actually true. I think my feet are like my best asset of my body. No, I'm joking. I think, you know what it is? Moles. I've broken my little toe just by someone silly treading on it. I mean, I've taken a full brunt of jumping with Shanu upwards, but because I like Shanu's a bit taller, and somehow I landed before him, but it's not his fault, but his foot landed on top of mine. I had like big treads across my foot. I don't know, man. If you're gonna ban slides, ban freaking moles, because Sam and me are the sickest sliders.
No, well, that's the next question. All I'll say at mould was made for the pitch we play on. But what was the crack with?
Can I ask a question though, Azon?
Cool.
Why wear molds when like what's the other one? What's the rubber whatever? Yeah, the normal Astros. When they're adequate enough. Like, why? When normal Astros are adequate enough, why wear molds when we all got work? We all got.
They were built for sand Astros. The times have moved on, mate. We play on 3G Astros where I can use my molds, which the molds are being built.
Have you ever taken a kick from Jake with molds? I remember when my ankle, I came back 6 weeks later and I took that kick again.
Probably a few times, mate, yeah.
Yeah, molds are freaking sharp. You know who's got the sharpest molds? Yasin. It's like he's wearing like ice skates.
Oh.
It's like he's wearing freaking ice skates. Those are the sharpest molds I've ever felt in my life.
That's right, slides. I've got a story for slides.
Yeah,
For me, this all come up. You had the biggest fucking moan about slides, right? To the point where slides got banned. And now you want slides back.
I'm going to show you.
He's got everything.
1 minute. I'm drawing a diagram for you.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but... Can you see this? That bottom one. That's how Walji came into me with double foot freaking challenge WWF kind of shit. Walji, like, I think, you know who's the hardest tacklers? Abbas B and Walji. Yeah. Now, with Walji, I'm saying you're 7-0 up in the game. There was no need to, like, he was like, I slid on the floor, but you didn't. You can't do double foot challenge. At least put your toes downwards and slide. Like, have due care, isn't it? And Abbas B as well. Now, we played Jakey's, those lads of his, yeah? We played them, and Abbas B did the most dirtiest slide. It looked like Dawson from Street Fighter. And he took that guy out. He took that guy out so hard that the guy didn't even know what was happening. I think you have to be responsible, isn't it? And Sam and me have never endangered anyone. And you tell me, has anyone ever been scared of Sam and my slide tackles? But Walji, double-footed challenge, I was just explaining to him, if you're 7-0 up, is it a responsible thing to do that just to save a goal? When you're 7-0 up and there's not much of a game left.
I was going to bring Walji up, funny enough. I got his name written on my page. Because what I didn't like is he seemed to have got singled out for it, and I'm pretty sure most will remember I kind of lost my cool one night on the pitch having a moan up about it.
Yeah.
If you can't, as good as Sam is or yourself or whatever, you can't guarantee as soon as you leave your feet, there's nothing written in the stars saying that he's going to make it and Walji won't, sort of thing. That was my point.
Yeah.
If you're going to moan about it, we don't have it.
Yeah.
As soon as you leave your feet, it don't matter if you're fucking 6 foot and got 300 pounds behind you, or fucking 5 foot and you weigh like a paper bag. If you leave your feet, you leave your feet.
No, see, there's a difference. As I said, you know, if you look at, I don't know if you like ever observed, I base my slide tackling on Sam. From the games that I've been playing with you on Sunday, Sam, all the way up to midweek. So I base my slides on Sam. I lead with the foot down when I tackle with, it's sliding downwards, and my other leg is always bent, just like Sam. So there's no way that you're going to clatter someone. The thing is that the only reason I spoke about Walji's slide is because that's the only one that I faced I felt that was dangerous to me. And I was trying to explain to him, but obviously the heat of the game, that whole game was quite heated. There was calls for penalty shouts and this. There was a whole collection of things, isn't it? So I guess you just get caught up in the game and the feeling, isn't it? But I just think, like, you can't have one danger. And, like, as I said, we're not playing for, like, the World Cup or anything like that. We all want to go home, see our family. You don't want a broken leg because that could be a couple of months out of work. And I feel Moses just, as adequate as you're saying it is for pitch, you can't choose one bad and not, like, address the other bad as well that's affecting players as well.
But the difference is, Shav, the boots are made for that pitch and people are wearing the country. And the fact is, if you're playing in a league game, slides would be banned anyway.
Yeah, but we're not playing in a league game. We're playing in the bushy.
That's my point. Do you want them back or you don't want them back as well?
I want them back.
The talk of, because the talk of you think you're such a great slide tackler, but someone else saying, if you're gonna have them back, you're gonna have them back, mate. So you can't pick and choose.
No. I've got a better routine. I've got a better system. So whoever does a bad slide on the day gets one warning. Going for 6 weeks. They do another bad slide, they ban slides for like 2 months. Others continue. That's how you kick them out. That's it. Sam and we will never get banned because we're great sliders. I've cleared plenty of balls.
I can't wait for him to read that and think, fuck that for a laugh.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? We already know he's guessing the appearances list. He's going to start having to guess about who's had a mad slide or not now.
No, I think, you know what it is? It's a group game, it's a team game, and I guess like democracy, isn't it? Whatever's voted is voted in, isn't it? It's a majority, right?
Yeah.
I can't really complain about it.
I'm with you on, I thought I might as well chime in here a little bit, but I'm with you both on separate issues. As is correct, that unfortunately, if you bring slides back, that means everyone should be allowed to slide. However, that your system could be a system, but then if it's your system, you'll probably be asked to be in charge of that and you'll have to keep track of it.
Yeah, I'll ban the ones that I don't want to slide. I'll ban them straight. But if you think about it, who's really got slides in the game? It's like Sam, me, Walji, Abbas B. That's it. It's just us four, right? I don't really see anyone else slide. I've never seen Hardik do that. I've never seen Z do it. I've never seen you as you stay on your feet anyway.
No,
Shanks.
I've seen us put in a couple of good slide tackles when we had them in.
Have you done?
Yeah, I have done, but I don't do it as often as you, Shaf, because I'm always in the right position.
How can you be in the right position if you're right at the top and I'm right at the back?
No, I just think if you're gonna have it back, it's back. If it's not back, it's not back. But if we're concerned about the things we're talking about, then I don't think you can have it back.
Yeah, I think you have
and
to.
on that note as well, just a quick one.
Yeah.
I know people have had serious injuries and it's been a standard tackle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't really have to leave your feet. If you're gonna get injured, you get injured. It's the part of the game. It's contact sport. So there is that side of it as well. But it's what level you want. It could be the friendliest tackle going. You're still endangering, another person who we're obviously in our aspect. We're all mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? Even when I slide anyone, obviously I know you all got homes to go to. That's kind of like always on my head anyway. So I'm not reckless. I think about that all the time, isn't it? Because end of the day, like as you said, isn't it? It's safety about everyone just getting home, isn't it? But then again, it's like a little bit of I think people should just be responsible. If you're gonna do it, just be. I think some people get too involved in the game because there's things that you see, elbows and this and like reckless hands up in the air, and sometimes you gotta be a bit more calmer in the game and think about the logic of what's going on around you rather than be so involved in the game and trying to get to that ball or the player and not thinking about his safety. I think that a lot of education needs to be done. Like people need to be make that a bit of education on that side, I think.